We have a new section, which is section number 6 as part of the CDS, Create, Deliver and Support ITil 4 Specialist Certification Training Program. This is about the practices which are used in CDS. What does it mean, software development and management? And what are the responsibilities possible? The scope is for developing applications and also managing the infrastructure and platforms, because it means the software is required to manage the infrastructure also. For example, some supporting tools, etc. And also managing the documents, like writing requirements, documents and all that will be connected with the software development. There are more, maybe rather than requirements, it could be design documents, it could be programming standards, yeah, programming guidelines, all that can come here as part of the software development. So anything which is related to software will be included here. Yeah, you see the like specifications document, design, source code, object code, documentation, object code meaning the executable codes. And generally there are responsibilities like application owners, infrastructure management people, the users, and the software management organizations themselves. Application owner generally will have the focus on the requirements and agreeing to them. Infrastructure management will provide the environment to run the application and to manage the production environment for the application. Users request support for the application. And the software organization, maybe there's a software department. They are responsible for the onboarding and offboarding of, meaning starting up new applications and end of life of applications for certain customers. And there may be other several responsibilities. So there's a little more coming up in this software development management. And that is the practice success factors. There are 2 of them here. Just like design, we had 2. And as I was telling you, usually the first PSF is always the approach. So in this case, agree and improve the organization's approach to development and management of software. So very high level strategy and approach. And secondly, just like in design, we had the services should meet the utility and warranty requirements. Similarly here, ensure that the software continually meets organization requirements and quality criteria throughout its life cycle. So generally speaking, the PSFs usually include the overall approach for that practice and also ensuring that the approach results in something of good quality. That practice results in something of good quality, yeah? So if you go one by one, there's a lot more information here. How do we define the approach, agree the approach, and improve it? A lot can be done. There may be thinking about waterfall versus agile. So decision has to be made, which approach to be used in which situation, rather than sticking to one way. And there are some general guidelines on the right here to study when to use what. So when everything is known, waterfall is good, when things are clear in the beginning. And there are many others. Rather than just calling straight away agile, we have a time boxed approach, or we have a linear iterative approach, or we have a parallel experimentation approach. Though they may seem to be very similar, there are some slight differences between them. Requirements are known, priorities are known, which means we can fix the time. We deliver the requirements based on the priorities in the next 2 weeks or so, so time box it. But when those things are known only at a high level, yes, requirements are known, priorities are known, but not detailed, but high level, then linear iterative, which means we can't really time box and say we will deliver it in, let's say, 2 weeks, but we will start delivering. We will try to deliver some, maybe it takes us 2 weeks, and then whatever left, we take another 1 week or 2 weeks, because high level understanding is there. But again, this is different from the first one when everything is known. And the requirements are not known, hazy. It is more than agile maybe, which requires experimentation. So the product owner who is representing the customer may be given some models or prototypes. And that person may say, okay, yeah, this is fine. Can you make it much better? Or this is not what I wanted. Yeah, those kind of feedback can come. More on the practice success factor. on the same, the approach, that is, to define the approach for software development and management, the 4 dimensions have to be considered. It is not just about a process of development that will definitely come in the process and value stream, but how the teams should be structured. Should they be small and independent cross-functional teams, meaning a team of 5 or 6 people maybe, not too less, too or not too high, who have all the skills necessary to build a software component. And they may be having a single product owner who will tell them the priorities for that piece of the software. And if you look at the technology dimension, we need the teams, again, the mix of technology and people dimension. We need teams who will provision the infrastructure for development and other environments. And again, information and technology, the version control tools will be required for code as well as documents. And when it comes to processes, not only manual anymore, but the DevOps or the CI/CD, automated compilation, the testing, deployment and release. And the last portion for the software development and management is the second PSF. Ensure that the software continually meets the requirements and quality criteria. Nothing is complete until it meets the requirements of the stakeholders and the quality expectations. So there's a lot of things to be read here. So basically, the summary here is that when software is continuously modified, it accumulates debt. You know, just like when a person keeps on taking loan from somewhere, they accumulate debt. And eventually they have to pay it back soon because the interest builds up. Similarly, in software, the debt builds up because the loan is accumulating. More and more changes are made, which can be done in a haphazard manner, in a hurried manner. People say, okay, it is just one change, let me do it today, and we'll see if it is creating a negative impact on the software afterward. We will, when we have free time. And suddenly over a period of 3 months, about 150 changes have happened in the software. Everything is working well, but when somebody opens the source file, they will see it's a complete mess. It is all patches here and there. And that can be very risky because all of a sudden the software can hang or break in operation. So somebody, the leader, has to speak up and say, hold on, no more changes allowed for the next 2 weeks. We're going to clean up the software first and remove all the technical debt. So this is known as removing the technical debt. And because the software has built up a lot of entropy inside it or disturbances inside it. So that's the key part summarized in this. There are a few other things like to ensure the quality, there has to be proper understanding of the architecture and the programming elements. What are the functionalities to be delivered? What are the performance features to be delivered? What should be the approach to the programming? What are the human limitations for programming? A lot more things may have to be considered by the manager, the software development manager and the organization. Therefore, they may introduce some quality techniques like peer review and testing, performing testing. Though testing is a separate practice, but it has to work very closely with the testing practice, software service validation and testing in order to ensure the quality.